Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March 24th, 2020 special meeting of the Board of Selectmen. We are live with audio only on Channel 79 in YouTube. Before we begin the meeting with our agenda, I'm going to call the roll. Mika Cardozo. Joe Crisco.
Present.
Joe Dye.
Here.
Thank you. Dwight Rowland. Did I hear it okay? Is Dwight on?
Hey, I'm on.
Oh, thanks, Dwight. Okay. Sandy Stein?
Here.
Thank you. Jerry Weiner?
Here.
Tony Genovese?
Here.
Jerry Shaw? Here. And Betsy Yagla?
Here.
Have I forgotten anyone? Okay, thank you very much. The situation at Town Hall and at the state and federal level continues to change rapidly. Things have, of course, changed drastically over the past week for all of us here in Woodbridge, and I have asked for this meeting to bring you all up to date on where things stand. We'll begin by thanking our wonderful staff and all residents for being flexible and working together as we navigate through this global crisis. These are unprecedented times, and the situation continues to change rapidly. Before I update the board on what we have been doing at Town Hall, I'm going to briefly summarize for our listening audience some key points on best practices during this pandemic. It is imperative that everyone practice social distancing, continue to stay at least 6 feet away from one another, avoid gatherings, and only leave home when necessary. Do not visit friends or family unless there is an urgent need for health or safety, and please try to avoid or limit interactions between the young and the elderly. Wash your hands often for at least 20 seconds and clean high-touch surfaces in your home daily with Lysol or a solution of 4 teaspoons of bleach per quart of water. There is a lot of disinformation out there about this new disease. Misinformation is dangerous. Please rely on trusted sources of information. You can go to cdc.gov/coronavirus for health information and guidance, ct.gov/coronavirus for state updates, and woodbridgect.org/COVID-19 for local news. We have continued to make difficult decisions, and I suspect things will only get harder before they improve. Please remember that our decisions have been made to keep everyone healthy and safe. We have a new page on our town website where we are centralizing local information related to the pandemic. You can visit woodbridgect.org/COVID-19 for details. Additional guidance and health information can also be found on the Regional Health District website, Quinnipiac Valley Health District, qvhd.org. If you have any more questions or worry that you may have symptoms, call 1-833-ASK-YNHH. Please keep all local businesses in mind during these uncertain times. On the COVID-19 page on our town website, you can also find a roundup of local businesses continuing to operate. The list is being updated as new information comes in. If your business has something to add, please get in touch with Betsy Yagla. We have no idea how long this may continue. As we receive information, we will pass it along. Again, remember that we are here to help you, and we ask that you do everything you can to stay healthy and safe. Now to the members of the Board of Selectmen. Town buildings have been closed to the public since March 13th, but until yesterday, staff continued to report to work. We have canceled all programs indefinitely. Many services the town provides are available online or by phone. We have been convening frequent department head meetings via a conference call, and I am on regular conference calls with local, state, and federal partners. In accordance with the Governor Lamont's Executive Order 7H, which permits only essential services to remain open and operational, the Town of Woodbridge offices closed as of 8 p.m. last evening, Monday, March 23rd, with the exception of first responders and all other essential personnel. The determination of essential personnel was made by Administrative Officer Tony Genovese and me in conjunction with all department heads. Tony and I spoke with each of them yesterday. Each department head, in conjunction with Tony and I, as I said, decided on essential services that must be performed. We also discussed how to perform such services from home or, if necessary, on site with necessary staffing and minimalizing contact. We have tried to answer as many questions as we could with each department head, and he and I are striving to maintain communication with all employees as well. During this period, only essential services will be provided to residents. We have made provisions for mail and packages to be delivered to the police dispatch department. We have devised a plan for an employee alternating to retrieve the mail and notify department heads that mail or packages are there for them. As of today, we hope to revisit this policy at our next Board of Selectmen meeting on April 7th, or perhaps sooner, depending on circumstances. We are trying to save lives, asking folks to stay home and stop the spread. Now I will ask Tony to give an update regarding personnel matters. Thank you, Tony.
Tony Genovese. Thank you, Beth.
You're welcome.
So many of our part-time employees, especially in the library and recreation, were instructed not to report due to lack of work, as many of our programs have been canceled. A few of the part-time employees will report and be paid as necessary at the discretion of the department head. Those part-time employees that were told not to report will, of course, be eligible to file for unemployment. For municipalities, the state passes through 100% of those unemployment costs to Woodbridge for our own employees. We essentially pay our own unemployment costs. This is in lieu of any federal or state unemployment tax. So we don't pay any unemployment taxes. We just pay our direct unemployment costs. It is our plan to continue to pay our full-time staff and our staff members. Many full-time staff, either on-site or remotely, will continue to work at or near a full schedule. This, of course, includes police officers, dispatch, fire, custodial, maintenance, and public works on a modified schedule, as well as department heads and senior staff. So this is the majority of our staff. We've worked it out so that staff can either work at home or in the office, or a combination, to fulfill essential tasks. Some of our full-time members will be working a modified schedule based on need, and others are on a limited schedule. I just want to say that for our employees that are working on site, our custodial and our maintenance staff have been working tirelessly and have developed a very strict cleaning regimen so that we all remain as safe as we can while we continue our work. And so I just want to say that they've been doing a great job for us.
Okay, is that it, Tony?
That's it, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So now I would invite the Board of Selectmen to ask any questions you may have. Jerry's on as well, should we need him. And please identify again yourself before you begin speaking or asking questions. Thank you.
This is Sandy. I have a question, Tony, for you regarding the part-time staff. Now, normally when we have had to close down operations in the past, let's say the pool, were part-time staff basically not paid during those points in time?
That's correct. It's actually happened 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. The library had a leak and was closed for quite a while, and so we did not pay the part-time members at that time.
Okay, so you're basically requesting that we follow prior protocol.
That's correct.
Okay. Now, if those part-time staff are needed to, let's say, come back on a more limited basis to help with a particular project, does that impact their unemployment at all?
They'd have to report that to the state. I'm not exactly sure how that would impact their unemployment, but they are, of course, welcome to come back should there be work necessary. I know the library and the recreation department are trying to do many things online and trying to do programs online. I know the recreation is developing a lot of programs online, so that may happen over time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Anyone else from the Board of Selectmen?
Beth, this is Mika Cardozo, and
Hey,
I was just, did I understand you to say that you were planning to review this again either at our meeting or sometime before, depending on what happens?
That's correct. Sometimes these things are changing daily related to the governor's executive orders, and we obviously have to follow those. It's possible we may have to have another special Board of Selectmen meeting next week or the week after. Our regular Board of Selectmen meeting is April 7th, I believe. So for sure we'll have a discussion again if we don't have one sooner. That answer your question, Mika?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Anyone else? Questions? Okay, thank you all. Jerry, I think that you suggested it was perhaps advisable for us to pass a motion of some kind.
Right. I think this, Jerry Weiner, I think it'd probably be best that if you pass the motion, if there's a motion made and the board vote on it, just for the record so we have it clear, and it could be recorded, and I can just sort of read a bare bones based on what was just said by Tony and Beth. And
okay, that would be very helpful.
You can add to it if you'd like. We hereby move that the town implement a policy in conformance with Governor Lamont's Executive Order 7H, whereby only essential employees will be required to report for work and continue with their normal duties. All full-time employees, whether essential or non-essential, will continue to be paid. Essential workers, some non-essential workers may have some work that they could do from home, and that will be determined by the administrative officer and the first selectman, as well as who is an essential employee will be determined by the department heads, the administrative officer, and the first select woman. Part-time workers have already been asked to not report for work, as many of the programs they work in have already been terminated. Part-time employees will be eligible to file for unemployment benefits. This motion and resolution will be reviewed at the next regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen or sooner if appropriate. I think, unless anybody has something else, you can call for
maybe I'll make that as a motion, and then if there is a second.
I'll second. That's Sandy.
That's Sandy seconding?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now I'll open it up for discussion. Anyone have any questions or something to add or remove from that motion?
I think as long as all employees have been informed as to whether or not they are essential or not, and obviously people know if they are full-time or part-time, and know that this is a stopgap measure until we have further direction, I think it's fine.
Okay, I think, Tony, we've pretty much contacted everyone. Is that correct?
This is Tony. Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone have anything else to add to the motion or comments? Okay, I will call the motion, and if you could just, maybe what I'll do is I'll call everyone's name so we're not stepping on each other, and you can say aye or nay. Let me get my
Beth?
list. Yep.
This is Dwight. I just had one other question.
Sure.
I'm assuming we're going to go back to all those part-time people who are not going to work for the next few months and offer them their jobs back.
And do what?
And offer them their jobs back, their part-time positions back. I'm assuming we're going to do that.
Okay, that may be a question for Tony or Jerry.
I can answer that.
You mean after this thing gets back to normal? Yes. Is that what you're saying? Yes. I'm just saying is now that the part-time is no longer going to be working, I assume that when we get back to our regular schedule, that we would offer those people their. Tony?
Yes, this is Tony. It is our intention to we'll offer part-timers their positions back once the schedule is back to normal. That is our intention.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Anyone else? So I'm hearing no other comments. I will now ask for a vote on this. I will call on you one at a time. Mika Cardozo,
Yay.
Joe Crisco,
Yay.
Sandy Stein,
Yay.
Joe Dye,
Aye.
and Dwight Rowland,
Aye.
and Beth Heller, aye. I think we've covered everyone. Okay, does anyone have anything else to add?
Jerry Weiner, I just want to say that this meeting is being recorded on Channel 79 by PUA, as well as being available on YouTube simultaneously with the meeting.
Thank you for adding that, Jerry. I said it in the beginning, I think, but that's a good idea to remind everyone at the end as well, so people can see it later. It's wonderful. Okay, I will call for a motion to adjourn.
Well, Beth, there's one more thing, Jerry Weiner. We're going to have to, you might want to say that the board is going to have to meet in a special meeting to review the governor's executive orders concerning the adoption of the budget for this next calendar year. And talk about the date.
Right. We have a preliminary budget hearing coming up it was scheduled for April 21st. And obviously our annual town meeting in May, and those will not be occurring in the way that they usually do. So we will probably have a meeting, as Jerry said, to discuss how those will occur in the, given the governor's executive order, we want to make sure we do it properly. So we'll probably have a meeting with all of you to discuss it.
Sounds good.
Okay. Anything else, Jerry, Tony, Betsy?
Nope.
Okay, wonderful. I will now make a motion that we adjourn. Is there a second? State your name.
Second, this is Mika.
Thank you, Mika. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any nays? I think it's unanimous. Okay, thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you.
And we'll talk.
Thank you, Beth, for all
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
Thank you. Good night.